Greetings, good people. What's up? What's happening? My name is Dr. Clarence. Welcome back to TV Scene Live, where we get to give you all the hottest and top trending topics, broadcasting live and direct from Zimbabwe, Africa. Now it seems the old Vice President Chiwenga is back, and yes, he is back with a bang. This VP Chiwenga video is trending all over social media. What is in this video? What is he talking about here? This video that is being talked about everywhere.
Morning to all. I am honored to stand before you today as I officiate this esteemed event under the theme, A Governance and Accountants Transformative Agenda Towards the Shared Future for Zimbabwe, which aligns well with our collective vision and empowered and prosperous upper middle income society by 2030. Our future is indeed a shared journey, and it is crucial that we collaborate and work together, guided by the principles of good governance and sound accountance practices to realize this vision. As a government, our vision reflects our commitment to building this nation, our values and aspirations as championed by the President, His Excellency.
Big up to everybody who's watching us live right now. To those watching us live, can you just confirm in the comment section if the audio is coming out well on this video here? Can you just confirm if the audio is coming out well here? Enough respect. Big up to Misani Ngongo. To those watching us live, can you confirm if the audio in the video playing is coming out well?
Dr. Emerson Tambuzo Mnangagwa. His mantra has always been that a country is developed and governed by its own people. Nyika inovakwa nekutongwa nevende vayo. Ilizwi lakiwa liwe lavanikazi varo. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the foundation of a prosperous and just society lies in strong governance and ethical accountants. These are the cornerstones of progress. Good governance fosters investor confidence, ensures business continuity and sustainability, and safeguards the public interest. It is not merely a compliance exercise, but a strategic imperative that underpins economic growth and development. Your role as chartered governance and accountants professionals is crucial in shaping the business landscape and ensuring ethical conduct across all sectors. As we advance the transformative agenda outlined by this conference theme, it is essential to embrace governance practices that foster a more prosperous and equitable Zimbabwe. This requires upholding high ethical and moral standards, which are integral to this noble vocation. Understanding these principles theoretically is not enough. They must be embedded in both your professional and personal lives. I remember during our war, we used to, when we were teaching on self-criticism, we would say it must be that art which must evolve in your mind and in your heart. It must evolve every second, every minute. And it must prepare you to discard what is wrong and take what is right. And so this is what we are talking about, your profession, that these principles must be embedded in both your professional and personal lives. As you wake up, as you go about your work, you must always be guided by these principles. It is evident to us all that effective governance goes beyond mere regulatory compliance. It embodies the principles of proficient management, ensuring transparency, accountability, and ethical conduct, which are essential to our progress. We must recognize and strides we
Here, greetings everybody. Are we seeing here that VP Chiwenga is using a different tone than the one he usually uses?
You must always be guided by these principles. It is evident to us all that effective governance goes beyond mere regulatory compliance. It embodies the principles of proficient management, ensuring transparency, accountability, and ethical conduct, which are essential to our progress. We must recognize and celebrate the significant strides we have made in governance and accountants within our nation. Each accomplishment reflects the unwavering dedication and hard work of both the government and its people. Our ability to build a brighter future for Zimbabwe has been significantly supported by collaborative efforts and the exchange of innovative ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, as leaders, our responsibility is to create an environment where adherence to effective corporate governance principles is not just encouraged but expected. The optimal potential of our private sector hinges on establishing a clear, responsible, and ethically guided business environment. It is important to recognize that corruption represents a serious threat to our nation's progress.
Corruption represents a serious threat to our nation's progress. A big up to everybody who's watching us live. Dumisani Ngungu, Laki Mambijo, Peter Said says it's loud, clear, and audible. Africa and Beyond TV, big up there. Says not 100%, but good. Peter Sirindi says cutting a bit towards the end. Bear with me, guys. I've been going through a lot. There's been a lot that has been happening here. I've been harassed. I've been tortured. I've been interrogated for over 3 weeks right now. So right now I've moved to another room where I'm installing operating system again. So every time I am installing a system, there's a man in the middle attack, then some JavaScript changes my operating system. I don't know how many times I've installed this operating system, and the people doing this, I don't know why they're doing this. It is very sad. So here we see VP Chiwenga now speaks on corruption, and now this is a trending video. It is talked about everywhere, like we see here. This is a news day. Corruption now a security threat. Chiwenga. Anyways, we're gonna be back here. Let us continue with the video. Bear with me, guys.
Markets undermining the rule of law and eroding public confidence. As professionals in key positions across both private and public institutions, it is imperative that you uphold ethical standards and categorically denounce all forms of corruption within your organizations. Let me reiterate that let us all be ethical. Ethical. Ethical.
Ethical, ethical, ethical. Let us all be ethical. Ethical. He emphasizes, he's really passionate about this one. This speech here he's making here.
Zimbabwe is making considerable effort in the fight against corruption. The government has implemented various legislative measures, is adopting the National Convention against Corruption into domestic law. The domestication of this treaty has reinforced our existing laws, such as the Money Laundering and Proceeds of Crime Act, the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets Act, and the Public Entities Corporate Governance Act. This is aimed at creating a strong framework that promotes transparency and accountability. The government of Zimbabwe is committed to collaborating with the private sector to create a corruption-free ecosystem through vigorous enforcement of anti-corruption laws, fostering strong
The government of Zimbabwe is prepared to work with the private sector to fight against corruption. So here he will reveal more just about now. Big up to Peter Sidindi, Nashi Chikuna. Says, I'm watching from Durban, SA. How is it over there? Jimmy Sitole. Jiri say, MJ Skills, enough respect there. Perpetual Makoto, enough respect to Nashi Chikuna, says Durban Town at Jimmy Sitole. Big up to Africa and Beyond TV.
Enhancing public awareness and providing robust protection for whistleblowers.
Protection for whistleblowers.
By upholding the principles of good governance and actively participating in anti-corruption initiatives, the private sector can demonstrate its commitment to ethical business practices and contribute to a brighter future for our nation. Distinguished guests, in today's rapidly evolving world, technology is not just an enabler, but also a catalyst for the change we seek. To realize Vision 2030, Zimbabwe must be fully integrate advanced technologies into its governance and accountance frameworks. Artificial intelligence and automation can be instrumental in transforming our various sectors by improving efficiency, accuracy, and fraud detection. The adoption of e-governance platforms will assist in streamlining public services, ensuring they reach all Zimbabweans effectively and equitably. However, technology alone is not enough, because technology was made by a human being, is it? So on its own, it's not enough. Our nation requires a robust regulatory environment that promotes innovation while safeguarding public interest. As government, we shall continuously develop measures to advance innovation in corporate governance by religiously reviewing existing corporate governance frameworks, seeking to provide general principles and guidance that apply to various categories of entities, both listed and unlisted, along with SMEs, non-profit organizations, and state-owned enterprises. Our current frameworks must evolve to support a rapidly changing economic landscape, characterized by new technologies, global market integration, and a commitment to honesty and transparency. Reforming our regulations to encourage compliance and adaptability will help ensure competition on the global stage and protection of the integrity of our institutions, a key requirement for the sustainable development envisaged by our developmental agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, going forward, let us work together towards a Zimbabwe where economic growth is not only rapid.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us work together where economic growth is not only rapid. Let's work together towards a Zimbabwe where economic growth is not only rapid, but
a key requirement for the sustainable development envisaged by our developmental agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, going forward, let us work together towards a Zimbabwe where economic growth is not only rapid, but also equitable and sustainable. Government has made significant strides in laying the foundation for our nation's development, including introducing own currency to stabilize our economy and advancing infrastructure projects to enhance public services. Additionally, we have launched agricultural programs aimed at boosting food security, which is crucial given our challenges with droughts and floods. As we look to the future, we must be realistic about the challenges ahead. These include resistance to change, resource limitations, and technological hurdles.
take note where he talks of resistance to change. I'm just going to rewind that part a bit.
Additionally, we have launched agricultural programs aimed at boosting food security, which is crucial given our challenges with droughts and floods. As we look to the future, we must be realistic about the challenges ahead. These include resistance to change, resource limitations, and technological hurdles. However, these challenges should not discourage us, but rather serve as opportunities for growth, research, and innovation. Let us ensure that Zimbabwe's path to posterity is paved with innovation, integrity, and inclusivity. As I conclude, I challenge you, the governance and accountants professionals, to spearhead our nation's economic transformation. Utilize your expertise to foster transparency, accountability, and the adoption of technology while upholding ethical practices across all sectors. Contribute actively to policy development, to create robust regulatory frameworks that support sustainable economic growth. Most importantly, cultivate a culture of integrity and ethical behavior in both public institutions and the private sector. The future we envision starts with the decisions we make today. Let us take bold steps towards implementing a transformative agenda in governance and accountants. Together, we can build a Zimbabwe that is prosperous, fair, and prepared to meet the challenges and seize the opportunities of the 21st century. Let us walk
Now, what we're seeing here is Vice President Chiwenga is basically open to everybody. He talks about change, and also he emphasizes across all sectors, at multiple points in his speech here. He emphasizes that a lot. Enough respect to Joska Quinda says corruption will not work, and it will not work, but we will work. Pardon, Gumireshe says, my general. Dempsey, Demfish says, morning, Dr. Clarenza. Leopard haibatwe muskwene kiti yakarara mawana atanga ngazitungane zega. Freeman Chichetu says, watching from SA Cape Town. Sekuru Chiwenga varatidze kuti azvishande. Enough respect everybody who's watching us live right about now. Big up to Nashi Chikuna. Now, when we go to social media, we see VP Chiwenga is trending everywhere because of this heartfelt and passionate speech there. Big up to J Chikuna says, Doc, network yenyu mawani. Bear with me, guys. I'm still to find a solution. I've been harassed here. So what is happening here is I don't know how they're doing it. Is it jammers or some? I don't know. But basically, it is affecting my machines. At the same time, there's sort of a man in the middle attack. So right now, as I make this broadcast, I actually have closed this one side. So if I close this one side with something, with a board, the network is a little bit better. I've closed that side from the next room there. It is very disturbing what is happening here. So I'm just gonna, let me just remove the chroma key and show you that side, what is happening there. So you can see. So, okay, I've removed the background there. So if you see here, going to that side, I've closed with this. When I remove this, the network goes down up to the next room over there. So that is the room that I was using then. So the people who stay at the house that shares the same wall with me, the harbor criminals, and they be harassing me day in, day out. I think in my video, third from this one going backward, you could clearly hear them heckling on that. So bear with me as I seek resolution to that. So I'm yet to seek legal resolution to that. But this has been going for years. But these past 3 weeks have been so very, very intense. They have been so very, very intense. I don't know their motive, these people, what they want, but my assumption is they want my literal blood. The same way they killed my father in 2008. Now I have made it up how they did it and how they do it. But obviously, I'm not going to bow down to them. Now we go on x.com. On X, we see again VP Chiwenga is trending. We see this post by Hopo Chingono. He writes, Zimbabwe's Vice President Constantine Chiwenga has said that corruption in Zimbabwe is now a security risk, undermining the rule of law. Yet this is what we have been saying, and his government imprisoned us for exposing corruption. Then he posts this post by Newsday. See, Children of Zimbabwe War Veterans Association writes, fact, if you get rid of ED and his family, you've got rid of 70% of corruption in Zimbabwe. Then another one writes, Zimbabwe, the Air Force of Zimbabwe helicopter All right, bear with me there. Enough respect to Freeman Chichetu says that is why vira vatopinda mu vanhu vanyasopuwa information yavari kunyanya kuita worry. Yevari kunyanya kuita worry. Jay Chikuna says we love your work, Doc. Thank you very much for that positive feedback. Thanks a lot. Big up to Zulex Outer Eastern Cape watching us live there. So this has been received positively by a lot of Zimbabweans. This speech by VP Chiwenga. Now, still, on a similar note, we then see the ZANU PF National Chairperson Opam Chinguri release a post on x.com where she's talking about ZANU PF's 21st annual conference. And what is she saying here? She writes, as the ZANU PF National Chairman, I am pleased to share our strategic direction for the upcoming 21st annual National People's Conference, the gathering, which will be held from October 22 to 27 at the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair grounds in Bulawayo, marks a significant moment for our nation. As we push towards achieving Vision 2030, this is a unique opportunity for Bulawayo to demonstrate its capacity to host large-scale national events and showcase its vibrancy and readiness for greater things. In preparation for this conference, the National Coordinating Committee, which I chair, has made critical decisions aimed at ensuring an impactful and efficient conference. One of the key measures we have taken is to reduce the number of delegates attending this year, drawing the lesson from best practices we observed in other progressive nations like China. This year's conference will not follow the traditional format where every member of the party attends. Remember, Opam Chinguri is the Minister of Defense, and the ZANU PF National Chairperson is the second most powerful, is the most powerful woman in ZANU PF, in fact. And then she continues, we have opted to limit participation to Politburo members, Central Committee members, National Consultative Assembly members, and senior provincial and district executives. This will ensure that the discussions and resolutions are rich in content, driven by critical thinking and rigorous debate, thus creating meaningful outcomes that will influence the course of our national policies. The reduced number of attendees also reflects a commitment to safety. With fewer delegates traveling to Bulawayo, we will significantly minimize road accidents, which is a priority for the party and the nation. Our conference theme, Industrialize, Modernize Towards Vision 2030, aligns perfectly with the nation's developmental goals. As we look to industrialize and modernize Zimbabwe, key sectors such as the economy, agriculture, and food security will be at the forefront of our discussions. Together, we will chart a path that delivers prosperity to our people and restores our country's position of dignity and self-reliance. I can report with pride that we are nearly 95% prepared for the conference. Our third meeting as the National Coordinating Committee has ensured that all logistical matters are in place. The committee is comprised of all relevant departments whose expertise is crucial in delivering a successful and productive conference. So we are seeing this one here. In this conference, there's a reduced attendance. Rather, they've limited those who attend to Central Committee members, National Executive, and Politburo members. Then she concludes, this year's conference is not just a gathering of party members, but a critical policy review platform. We will take a hard look at our policies and refine them to ensure that they are in line with our national goals, particularly economic growth and sustainable development. The outcomes of this conference will set tone for ZANU PF's continued leadership as we drive towards Vision 2030. Take note here. She writes, the outcomes of this conference will set tone for ZANU PF's continued leadership. ZANU PF continued leadership. Continued leadership as we drive towards Vision 2030 together as one united party. We will steer the nation towards a prosperous future. I look forward to the rich debate and forward-thinking resolution that will come out of this conference, and I am confident that it will be a significant milestone in Zimbabwe's journey towards greatness. So that is a post there by ZANU PF National Chairperson Opa Muchinguri. Comrade Opa Muchinguri makes that post there. A point of interest is this one here. The outcomes of this conference will set the tone for ZANU PF's continued leadership as we drive towards Vision 2030. In his speech, we see Vice President Chiwenga saying our shared Vision 2030. And here he says the outcome of this conference will set tone for ZANU PF continued leadership as we drive towards Vision 2030. So this is very, very clear what we are seeing there. Enough respect to everybody who is watching us live right now. Wellington Zawari says, indeed we love your work. Thank you very much for that one. Positive feedback there. Big up to Dempsey, Demfish, E.D. Munumtapa, Mambo, Wewori, Zulex, Outer Eastern Cape. Enough respect there. Lance Zikonde says, my general watching from Israel, Tel Aviv. How is it there in Tel Aviv? Enough respect to J. Shikuna, Freeman Chichetu, Pardon, Gumireshe, Joska, Quinda, Perpetua Mukoto, Jimmy, Sitole, Nashi, Chikuka, Sitole, Perpetua Makoto, MJ Skills, Peter Sidindi, Africa and Beyond TV, Lucky Mambinjo, Dumisani Ngungu, everybody who was watching us live. Thank you guys for supporting TV7 Live, and thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your positive feedback. Bear with me, guys, as I get back in the groove. Here, I'm battling against consistent harassment, noise, all those sort of things, just to stop my work with criminals that are harbored at the house next door, 13 Baribango. Where I stay is 15 Baribango. Here. So now I've moved to another room, so I'll be finding ways to see how my system can operate smoothly, because they're firing something that is causing my system to be lagging. And also, this has taken a toll on my physical body. I'm so exhausted. So bear with me, guys. However, I'll try to maintain consistency. Over the past few days, I wasn't able to do that because I was busy setting up my operating system. When I set up the operating system, it is hacked again. So this is a very, very disturbing. This is a very disturbing. This is what has been happening for many years until November last year, when I moved to the rural areas, when my YouTube account is hacked. This is what had happened prior to that. Then I went to the rural areas. I stayed there for 6-7 months. I came back in May, June. So now I've been working 3 months now. Be back again at 8. Big up to Ronald Chenjerai. Says Dokumuse, watching from UK. Enough respect there. How is it over there in UK? Big up everybody who was watching us live. Dr. Clarence is the name. TV7 Live is the channel. As always, thank you for watching, and I'm out.